Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we got some breaking news here. The Las Vegas Raiders have traded for offensive tackle Justin Herron. He played last season with the New England Patriots, was a 6th-round pick. And coming up here on today's show, I am going to tell you every single thing that you need to know about this trade here. So the first thing is, here are the trade details. The Raiders get Herron and a 2024 7th-round pick. New England gets a 6th-round pick in 2024. So nothing in 2023. Herron was somebody that was backing up New England this season. He's played some snaps in 2020 and in 2021. We'll go through all of his PFF grades. I'll show you some of his stats, some of the stuff that I like, dislike. What does that mean for dudes like Thayer Munford? What does it mean for Jermaine Illuminor? What does it mean for the Raiders offensive line? That's all coming up here on the Raiders Report. So I got to know, who do you think won this trade? The Raiders or the Patriots? Let me know down in the comment section right now who won the trade. If you think it's the Raiders, type R. If you think it's the Patriots, type P. We got 750 people tuning in right now because every time that breaking news happens, the Raiders Report, we got you covered. It's why you hit that subscribe button. It's why you turn on the notifications. We got you covered here. So who won the trade? Let's give some shout-outs to the peeps right now. We got Isaac Hernandez, Brian, Prolific, Giovanni, Dutchy, Jason Wood, King Sanchez, all spamming the R's. Jesse Taylor says, horrible signing. Luckily, it wasn't a signing. It was a trade. Raider Nation, Trish, spamming R. We got Tim, El Chapo, a lot of R's in the chat. And here's the thing. I agree. If you give up a 6th-round pick in next year's draft, and that player could potentially help out your right tackle spot this year, that's good. He's still got 2 years on his rookie deal left. He's worked with a lot of the Patriots coaches in the past. So personally, when I look at that entire offensive line, the right tackle position was the biggest eyesore after the first 2 weeks. Colt Miller needs to step up. John Simpson needs to step up. You got Dylan Parham, Andre James, when they have played, have been phenomenal. Lester Cotton, I thought, had an okay game last week, but the right tackle position, which this might surprise you, has been the big issue for the Raiders' offensive line. Not the entire right side, but the right tackle spot. So that is why I am going to type my R, and hopefully you guys can like the video as well because it does address a major need.
Mitch, I actually have a quick question for you.
All right, let's hear it.
I've seen a lot of the comments, a lot of people saying, I hate the Patriot way. I hate that he's bringing the Patriot way over here. I have a question. Obviously, a former Patriot. Do you like McDaniels getting former Patriots to come to Vegas?
If you're looking for extra depth, if you're looking for a plug-and-play guy, I don't mind it all that much. I mean, plus, we'll go through some of the numbers here for Herron. He's an okay player. I actually really, truly believe that. But it's not only just McDaniels. It's Carmen Bracillo. Bracillo, offensive line coach for New England the past few years, knew what he was getting. They knew that they were hopefully going to try to bring him in here. Now, it's still not a slam dunk name. It's not going to be somebody who people go absolutely crazy about. If I had to give the trade a grade, I'd give it a C. It's a good move. It's not great. It's not fantastic. But the Raiders' right side of the offensive line has a need. I could make the argument, all right, if you know that there's a need there, why don't you go out and try to add somebody a little bit bigger?
If only there was a free agent they could sign.
If only there was a free agent that they could sign. Type L or D. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? I mean, so far the Patriot way in Las Vegas has not worked. You can say what you want. We were really, really hopeful. It hasn't worked. Now, glass half full. Personally, we barely lost to the Chargers, and Derek Carr played one of the worst games I've ever seen him play. And then in week 2, we had a really big collapse. I get it. It sucks where we're at right now, but I think we all know that this is better than an 0-2 team, and I'm hoping that they can turn it around. Let's go to some Super Chats. Well, the first one we actually got was from Brandon Jasper. It said locals, 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 but for whatever reason, our software was unable to pull it through. Dinah said that shirt is rad. So this shirt was actually made by Mercedes Renz, a.k.a. John Butts, and he sent it to me. And I think you guys can see it. It's the Chat Sports logo. It's actually me chugging a beer with Raiders. So I was like, you know what, man? If somebody from the Raiders Report made me a T-shirt, I got to figure out a way to get this thing on. Let's go to Jack. What up? I don't need a win to start believing in this team again. I need a complete and utter blowout. I'll say this. Blowouts in the NFL aren't easy. Point blank simple, because you could totally dominate a first half of a game, and you can still lose it, right? But also on top of that, every single win in the NFL, it matters. Every team in the NFL can beat anyone. I am a big believer in that. And if you try to sleep, you're going to get caught. So do I want to blow out? Sure. Definitely wouldn't mind it. Heck, if the Raiders get up by 20 again, I'm still going to be nervous. I'm going to be nervous the entire season. But a win is a win. You just need a win this upcoming week. Let's go to Christopher Leonard. What up, my dog? Mitch, why haven't the Raiders brought up bars to the active squad to help the line?
Raiders!
I think the answer is simple. He's not really needed. I've been tough on John Simpson. John Simpson, to me, is a better offensive lineman than Alex Bars. Andre James, his week 1 performance, I thought he played well. Dylan Parham's been the best Raiders offensive lineman, and I told y'all that Dylan Parham is the real deal. I said that he's going to be a future Pro Bowler, and it so far looks that way. To me, though, Alex Bars, not all that great. A name to keep in mind, though, is absolutely Billy Price getting the nod up. Now, we do have some Super Chat specials today, and this is totally off the rail. My team, they just got a brand new wheel spin, and if y'all are really trying to F up my day, the wheel's the way to do it. So, Jeremy, what are some of the things on the wheel? Also, every 500 likes, Jeremy's going to take a shot. We're about 200 away from that. $10 Super Chat.
We're 300 away from that.
Oh, what did I say, 200?
Yeah.
Yeah, math, not my strong suit. We are every $10 Super Chat. If I'm drinking, the nation's drinking. I didn't plan on drinking today, but hey, you know what? If we're here to party for an offensive tackle, so be it. Every $100 fireball shot, and as always, every 1,000 we do a beer boot. Jeremy and I will also be live tomorrow for Thursday Night Football, Steelers-Browns breakdown. So if you're at work, you're like, man, I'm kind of bored right now at work, and I really want to get this thing rocking and rolling. Well, we can absolutely do that.
And Mitch, for a $50 Super Chat, we have on here, we have Fish Bowl.
Fish Bowl
2
is
shots.
Crazy.
Hot sauce shot. Beer bong. 5 push-ups. And 2 shots.
I'm actually hoping to do push-ups at this point. If I do a Fish Bowl, though, Fish Bowl's tough. The Fish Bowl's what scares me the most. But it is all a chance. 1 out of 8 chances. Jeremy can spin the wheel for you guys. So also coming up here on the Raiders Report, we will be breaking down more in depth of what the trade is, what it means for the Raiders, and we'll also talk about how the Raiders, in a corresponding move, had to move on from Javelin Guidry, who was actually signed by the Raiders, I want to say last week. He's a defensive back. If he was unclaimed during waivers, he then reverts back to the Raiders practice squad. So Javelin Guidry, he was signed and now he was released. If he goes through waivers, he ends up back on the Raiders practice squad. Personally, I like Nickel Roby-Coleman more than Guidry, but Guidry is a really good athlete, ran a 4.2940. So what do y'all think here? Will Herron ever play? Right, I said that right? Will Justin, what? Even play. Type P for play, type W for won't. Do you think this guy's even going to play? You give up some late-round draft capital. Does it matter? Will he enter the mix? I mean, we've already seen that the Raiders have been rotating in Jermaine Illuminor and Thayer Munford, and for those of you that don't know, that drives me nuts. I get the idea that sometimes in certain football positions you want to keep guys fresh. For me, the offensive line is a position that I want continuity. I want chemistry, and I want your quarterback to have faith that that guy that's coming in is going to succeed. Munford has struggled. Jermaine Illuminor at times has looked good, and then other times it's just ugly, man. It's ugly. So the Raiders need a right tackle, but what's kind of frustrating about this is we know the Raiders need a right tackle. The Raiders have needed the right tackle since freaking, 2021 week 1, and the Raiders did nothing about it all offseason. You tried to tell me that Brandon Parker was going to end up working out. You tried to tell me Alex Leather was going to work out. That was just dumb. And now you're trying to put a Band-Aid over a gash. I don't know if Herron's going to be the guy able to do it, but now you're telling me we're going to try to do a 3-way rotation at right tackle? I mean, there's that old saying, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't got none. What happens if you got 3 right tackles? I don't have the answer for that.
You have 2?
So type P for play, type W for won't. Raider Nation, Trish, Vic Ferris, all spamming P for play. Nobody won the trade from 212. Okay, fair enough. I am seeing a lot of P's that you guys think that he is going to play this season, and personally, I think he's going to play too. I don't know if it's going to be right away, though.
Also, Mitch, the nation has spoken. I understand a little weak. I upped it to 15 push-ups.
15 push-ups?
Everybody said 5. That is incredibly low.
Okay.
They were like, my daughter can do 5 push-ups.
Fair enough. I mean, if I want to see how many people are making their daughters do push-ups, because credit to you. I mean, I can remember my Uncle Wayne making my cousin Amber do push-ups in the backyard, and hey, she's the greatest basketball player I've ever seen in person. That's a girl. So if it can work, it can work, right? So W for won't, P for play. Let me know. Again, guys, we're live here on the Raiders Report for the breaking news that the Silver and Black have traded for New England Patriots offensive tackle Justin Herron. We'll go in, break it all down, everything that you guys need to know, but this is just a friendly reminder. I didn't plan on going live today. I didn't plan on getting you guys that extra video. We do technically have another video potentially going to come out later, but if you just want more in-depth analysis and free Raiders content, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way you never miss anything that's going on. I don't care if it's an off day. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't care if I'm filming a locals video, which I was. I was literally in the middle of filming a locals video. I was like, shit. Well, I'm going to trash this and just go do the breaking news. But here, I got you guys covered. Hit that subscribe button. All right, Jeremy, we got 1,139 people watching. If you haven't liked the video yet, please make sure you do so.
Once we get to 500 likes, then we can start talking about the trade and break it down for y'all.
All right,
we got to get to 500 likes.
Let's keep on going through some of the super chats that have come in. I see it from Mystic, Dave, Alex, Clash with Zeus. What up, what up, what up? Cheers to all y'all. What up, Mystic? We were the Las Vegas Falcons Sunday. Shake my head, do better. You know, I get the reference 28-3. I can also say this. The Falcons have been a problem team for the Raiders, at least of recent. You want to talk about another bad game, that 43-6 loss that the Raiders had up against Atlanta a week after having a beautiful game that they did. That was definitely a tough pill to swallow, but what I'm hoping here is one of the things that I said on my live show yesterday was if I'm the Raiders, you got to have a closed-door meeting. You got to sit down, look each other in the eyes, man-to-man, and say, hey, this has sucked, but we can still turn it around, and I'm hoping that's what they do. Dave Wilson, you're next up here on the Raiders Report. It's only 2 games with a few adjustments. We will be just fine. You can definitely see improvement. Raiders, I still believe. You have to believe. I told y'all to spam JBB, just believe, baby. You have to. Because if you're giving up on this team already, I'm going to question it, right? I get it. 0-2, it sucks. It's frustrating. You can make arguments that the Raiders could have beat the Chargers. They definitely should have beat the Cardinals. But now you're going up against the desperate Titans team on the road. They do have a short week. You should be able to beat Tennessee. They have yet to show me anything. And you should be able to beat the Broncos, who haven't looked good whatsoever. They lost to Seattle, and they just beat Houston 16-9. So let's say you're 2-2. And then you go into Week 5 against Kansas City. That's not an easy game. However, the last time the Raiders beat Kansas City was actually in Arrowhead. So maybe you have an opportunity there. But then even after the bye, right? Even after the bye, the schedule does get a little easier. So then you have the Texans, the Saints, the Jags, the Colts, the Broncos, the Seahawks. I mean, I can make an argument that every single one of those games is winnable. Yeah, you're ending your schedule as a gauntlet, but don't give up hope yet. It matters how you play at the end of the season, not how you play early on. What up, Alex? Can the Titans defense stop the Raiders offense? I don't have a great answer for you on that. My question to you would be, is the Raiders offense going to stop the Raiders offense? Because when they're clicking, they're moving. When Josh McDaniel is dialing up the right plays, they're moving. The issue that I have seen thus far early on is McDaniels has failed to make adjustments. That first play or that first drive, that was all great scripting by McDaniels. The Raiders went right up down the field and they put points on the board. That first half looked very scripted. After the first half, it kind of just looked like McDaniels was just walking around in a park, picking dandelions, and was just like, oh yeah, we got this game in the bag. And then all of a sudden, he came back in the fourth quarter and was like, oh shit, it's tied. That's an issue. The Raiders can compete with any defense in the league, but sometimes they're holding themselves back here with turnovers. Let's go to Clash with Zeus. Do you think they haven't signed anyone else because they are saving the money, waiting for more serious injuries? No. I mean, I don't. If any team in the NFL is saving their cap space, waiting for more serious injuries, I do find that rather peculiar because you should never plan on major players going down with injuries. Now, potentially you're not going to have Hunter Renfrow this week. That could be a loss to the offense. That doesn't mean they're going to go out and sign somebody like Odell Beckham Jr. No, it means you need the extra depth. That means bigger role for Matt Collins. It means potentially a bigger role for Keelan Cole, a potentially bigger role for Tyron Johnson, and those guys need to step up. Because I know Devontae is going to be that dude. Though, if I'm Tennessee, I look at what the Arizona Cardinals did last week and either doubling Devontae Adams or playing really, really tough up-close man coverage and then having a safety over the top, because that's what they did. Devontae saw only 7 targets, 2 catches, 12 yards. They really tried to do everything in their power to take away Devontae Adams because they thought if you take away Adams, then the Raiders aren't going to be able to move the football. And that kind of proved to be true. All right, y'all. We got 1,200 people watching. Jeremy wants you guys to like the video, and I do too. Let's get to 500 likes on this vid, and then we will do a full breakdown of everything that you need to know about the Raiders making a trade for Justin Herron, and then also we will then break down the move around Javelin Guidry, what it means for the Raiders offensive line, what it means for the extra depth, the cornerbacks, and everything that you need to know before we get this Week 3 game started against Tennessee. Another friendly reminder that Jeremy and we are going to be live tomorrow for Thursday Night Football. The plan this year is to go live for every single Thursday Night Football game. Why? Because I'm going to watch the game anyway. Jeremy and I like to have a good time. The shows have been fun. Also being able to dissect teams that you're going to go up against, figuring out how well your team competes up against some of these other teams is entertaining. And with this week's game, you got the Browns, you got the Steelers. Two AFC opponents that you could potentially be battling for in a final wild card spot. Very important games to watch. So we are 50 likes away. I'm going to take a sip of my water here real quick. And then coming up, we will do a full-on breakdown of this Raiders trade that happens. And then at the very end of the show, if you guys have any super chats, any questions, we will do our best to answer them and break them all down for you. So cheers to the nation here. Let me get some water in my belly. Give me one sec.
Glug, 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 glug.
Who's watching the show? We got Douglas, Kevin Jackson, Uno Malo, Tony Hogan, Way Hauser, Carly Lozado. If you've liked the video and you want to shout out Spam Raiders right now in the comments, we got Douglas said Jesus isn't real. Yikes. I thought it said this isn't real. I can't read. What up, Kevin Jackson? What up, Martin? We got Gary in the chat. Isaac, Zelsbo, Dominic, Raider Dave, Martin, Weeth, Vic Ferris, Quincy Smith, 14 likes away. Let's get there. Joseph, Ray, Albert, I'm Punchy, AMB. We got Kyler Miller, Raider 508. Who are the people on a random Wednesday looking for that extra Raiders content? Those are the people for me. Jeremy, we did it. We hit it. Let's go to Jose Delgado Super Chat. Actually, Jose, we'll get that one after we do our full breakdown here on the Raiders Report. And then again, so what you guys are going to see is the breakdown of what the trade is, my thoughts, how this is going to impact the Raiders team, and then we will talk about the Javelin Guidry news as well. You guys ready? You ready? Let's get this party started. Coming up right now, the breaking news around Justin Herron. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we got some breaking news here. The Las Vegas Raiders have traded for offensive tackle of the New England Patriots, Justin Herron. We're going to give you the full details, everything that you need to know about this deal. I'm going to tell you who won the trade, who lost the trade, how it impacts the Raiders' offensive line, how in particular it impacts guys like Thayer Munford, Jermaine Illuminor, and then at the very, very end of the show, we'll talk about the other roster move that the Raiders made because they did have to make one cut. So when you guys get Raiders news, if anything happens, make sure that you check out the Raiders Report. And a good way to make sure that you never miss anything, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because I promise you, we will do a full breakdown if big-time news happens. So let's look at the trade details here. The Raiders, they receive Justin Herron and then a 2024 7th-round pick. The New England Patriots, they get a 6th-round pick in 2024. Personally, if you're swapping this late of picks and you believe that this is a player that can help you win this season, it's a win for the Raiders. And we're still going to wait and see exactly how much of a rotation the Silver and Black decide to use. But the Raiders Report is about the interaction, but also giving the nation a voice. So get loud in the comment section right now and let me know who you think won this trade. If you believe that the Raiders won that deal, I want you to spam LV. we're going to get some Patriot fans that come across this video. It's just the way the internet works. Some of them might spam NE. For me personally, this is a win for the Raiders. Late round draft picks, I get what they could be, but this was a guy drafted in the 6th round in 2020, and now you're essentially getting a 7th rounder, and you're getting that player on top of it. Plus, he has the relationship with Josh McDaniels. More importantly, he has the relationship with Carmen Brasillo. You add up all of those things, and then I can confidently look at you and say the biggest eyesore on the Raiders' offensive line thus far has been the right tackle spot. I know, it's a shocker. He was drafted in the 6th round by New England back in 2020. He started 10 games in the last 2 seasons, and the fact that he's familiar with some of these coaches, it is going to go a long way. Now, before I show you the PFF grades around Herron, let's look at the Raiders' offensive line. Colt Miller, you need to step up. John Simpson at left guard has been a little bit shaky, but if Andre James is able to go this week, personally, I think that you should put Dylan Parham in at left guard. Then you would keep Lester Cotton at right guard. If you plan on doing a 3-way rotation between Illuminor, Munford, and Herron, I am going to be a little bit curious and to see how that goes. This is going to be a 3-way battle. When you look at some of his PFF grades from 2021, he played in 393 snaps, an overall grade of 56.7, which, I'll be honest, it's not great. Pass blocking grade, 45.7. Again, not good. Run blocking grade, though, of 62.9. That, in fact, is pretty good. In 2021, his stats, he had 2 penalties against him. He allowed 1 sack and then 3 hits. He has played on the left side. He's played on the right side of the offensive line, so this is a player who does give you some versatility. And even if he can't beat out Munford and if he can't beat out Jermaine Illuminor, I might be able to make the argument that he could actually be a little bit of an upgrade over a player like Jackson Barton, especially in the long term. You know what Jackson Barton is at this current moment, right? Like, you almost have to know. And then when you look at some of his PFF numbers in 2020, a 63.4 overall grade, a 60.0 run blocking grade, and then a 60.0 pass blocking, 61 run blocking grade. He can be better. He can be better, and I do think it's only time's going to tell. So when you talk about the NFL draft, one of the guys that I always like and respect their minds, obviously Tom Downing's the best in the biz, but then Lance Zierlein is another person who I do respect. And this is what he had to say about Herron back when he was being debated during the NFL draft. The entire breakdown was this: Herron is flexible and athletic with the foot quickness to compete in a camp as a zone blocking guard. However, he's often in a state of flux and having to fight for survival due to suspect hand usage and body control. He may not have enough play strength to withstand NFL defensive tackles in one-on-one situations, but he does have intriguing athletic traits and may be looked at some developmental prospect. So that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing a 6'5", 305-pound dude who could be a project. If I'm going to give any offensive line coach in the world a project player, here you go. It's Carmen Brasillo. So if you believe that he is a project guy that could help you out long term, go for it. If he's an offensive tackle, this could also give you the ability to put somebody like Jermaine Illuminor in at guard. Because personally, I've watched Jermaine Illuminor play guard before. I think he's better at guard than he is right tackle. So if you can then put Illuminor in at guard, that helps out your interior offensive line. This is a move that helps out the overall Raiders line. Here's another question, though. Do you think he even plays, right? Because when you make a deal like this, you're giving up those late-round draft picks. That tells you what the other NFL team thought. I know when I saw offensive tackle trade for the New England Patriots go down, I was like, oh, wow. Did Isaiah Wynn happen? The answer to that is obviously no. But do you think he's even going to play P for play, or you can type W for won't. Now, something that I want you guys to start doing more of, because personally I find it to be a lot of fun, is to make bets on all NFL games. Like Raiders games, I know it's kind of sucked recently, but you know what? I'm still going to put my money where my mouth is. Why? Because we got the best damn deal on the internet. So if you go to chatsports.com/Raiders, which the only way you're going to get the deal is if you go to chatsports.com/Raiders and you use promo code Raiders125, you get that 125% deposit bonus that simply nobody can compete with. You put down $100, you get $125 for free to bet with. And it's a must-win game. When the Raiders have had their backs up against the wall, in years past, they've answered the call. I'm going to hope that they answer the call this week. And the last time that I checked, Raiders 1-point favorites. The over-under in this game was set at 45.5. Tennessee lost to the Giants, and they got blown out against Buffalo. I get that this game is at home for Tennessee, but you know what? They are technically on a shorter week. They are. So I'm going to bet on the Raiders. The over-under, though, is something that I don't know if I'm going to touch. Now, when you brought in Herron, my initial thought process was like, all right, does this mean that he's going to replace Jermaine Illuminor? So far this upcoming season, overall PFF grade. Obviously, not all that spectacular when you think about how Jermaine Illuminor ends up ranking in terms of other players at his position. Right now at the offensive tackle spot, there's been 66 tackles in the NFL, according to PFF, that have played enough snaps that warrant a grade. Right now, Jermaine Illuminor is ranked 56 out of 66. He's got a run blocking grade of 55.3, a pass blocking grade of 51.4. Overall, somehow it comes out to about 55.1. When you look at the overall offensive line pass blocking grades, this is how it's stacked up. Personally, I think the run blocking for the Raiders at times has looked pretty good. Josh Jacobs has been extremely impressive to me from top to bottom. But the way that this offense is going to click, the way that this offense is going to take that next step, is by giving Derek Carr more time and giving those skilled position players like Waller, Renfro, Devontae Adams more time to get down the field, run the routes, and give Carr a little bit more confidence. Could you potentially be replacing Thayer Munford, who, according to PFF, has played bad? I'll say this, which I've said before. I watched Munford's first game. I 100% disagree with Munford's PFF grade in Week 1. Week 2, on the other hand, he wasn't very good. Point blank simply was not very good. 31.2 overall grade, and for Munford, he hasn't even played quite enough to be able to warrant an actual overall ranking on PFF, but in 37 snaps total, a 36.6 run blocking grade, a 49.9 pass blocking grade. Nothing to write home about whatsoever. So now you make a trade for Justin Herron where you give up a 2024 7th-round pick, or you get a 2024 7th-round pick, you give up a 6th-rounder in 2024. It might be a little bit of a risk in terms of trying to rely on those three players to hold down the right side of the offensive line. It's cheap, though. He knows Josh McDaniels. He knows Carmen Brasillo. And personally, I think that's overall why the Raiders decided to make this move here, to take a chance on a guy that they drafted in the 6th round in 2020, a player who is a big-time project. But guess what? Sometimes projects end up working out. So what do y'all think here? Should the Raiders make another move? Do you believe that the Silver and Black need to add another player? Why for yes and for no? Because me personally, I think the answer to that is yes. I said on my live show on Tuesday that the other moves that I want to see the Silver and Black make before the Titans game, if Denzel Perriman is unhealthy and if Bilal Nichols, who's battling that injury right now, if they are in fact unable to go, I want them to add a run stopper. I want them to add an interior defensive lineman or another linebacker that can stop the run. Because even though Derrick Henry is averaging 3.1 yards per carry, he's Derrick Henry. And if you get beat by Henry, I'm going to be mad. Because right now, Ryan Tannehill in that offense, you make them one-dimensional and you will simply beat them. In terms of another move that did happen already today, this one's coming in from Ian Rapoport. And the corresponding move, because when you made the trade, he went to the 53-man roster. The Raiders had 53 guys. The Raiders are releasing defensive back Javelin Guidry to clear the roster spot. If he's not claimed, he'll go to the Las Vegas Raiders practice squad and could be game day activation. He could be a game day activation, though I personally like Nikel Roby-Coleman more than I like Guidry. Guidry does have some insane athletic ability. Ran a 4.2940 at the combine. Has been lost a little bit with the New York Jets. And when you look at some of his PFF grades from back in 2021, Guidry, an overall grade of 55.9. Run defense grade, pass rushing grade, right around 53. The coverage grade, which is obviously the one I care about, especially if you're going to play in the secondary, 56.8. His coverage stats in 2021. Quarterbacks at times would pick on him. The passer rating was over 110. Targeted 41 times, gave up 30 grabs for 345 yards and 3 touchdowns. But his athletic ability and his special teams value because of that speed is one of the biggest reasons why the Raiders like him. And since the Raiders lost Anthony Averett, who also very quick twitchy, good athlete on the interior when you need him to be to cover some of those speedier receivers, That's why Guidry initially was added. So even though these guys aren't a part of the Raiders, Jeremy and I, we're going to be live for Steelers at the Cleveland Browns on Thursday, okay? So keep that in mind. Yeah, Thursday. Jeremy's whispering in my ear. Tonight. No, not tonight. On Thursday, we're going to be live, so join in. The way that we've been doing our Thursday night watch parties is simple. We go live about an hour early. We talk about the news and rumors that happened today. We do a mailbag like we usually do during a live show, and then we hang out, we party, we have some cold drinks, and simply we just watch the football game. And if you guys want to get wild with me, remember, we can always do that. To make sure that you never miss anything going on around this team, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365, and we do 50-50 raffles for Thursday night football and Sunday games. So add me as a friend on Venmo. It's a free app to download, transfer money on at Mitchell Renz 365, and who knows, you might find yourself a winner during our 50-50 raffle. All right, y'all, what I want you to do right now is grade the trade for Justin Herron, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down in the comments section. And now what we're going to get into is the part of the show where y'all can ask me questions. You guys can super chat. We can interact with each other, and that's how this goes. And if you want to keep the party going, we can keep the party going. Though, I get it, we've been partying a lot recently here on the Raiders Report. So A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give some shout-outs here to the peeps watching. We got Prolific, says C. Silver and Stock, A. Mikey, D. Martin Gonzalez, C. Mike, G, F. We out here, Entertainment, C. Oscar. A lot of C's flown in, and that's what it should be. When I give an A, it's an amazing deal. B is good. C, it's average. Until this young man plays, until he shows me that he can be an upgrade, it's going to be an average move. You didn't give up a lot for him. The right tackle spot has been an eyesore. It's been a concern, and it's definitely been a head-scratcher in terms of if you knew the right tackle spot was going to be a major issue, I get frustrated in saying, well, why the hell didn't you make an adjustment earlier on in the offseason? Why the hell is Darrell Williams still a free agent? These are all questions I still have no idea about. Now, every show we do Super Chat specials, and since we hit 500 likes, Jeremy owes me a shot, which means we're at 620 likes now. If you wanted to take another one, we got to get to 1,000 likes. If you guys are sitting at home, if you're like, you know what, I'll crack open a beer with Mitch. Here's the deal. $10 Super Chat. We do beer cheers. Cheers to you. Jeremy wants to see the wheel being spun. So every $50 Super Chat we get, we spin the wheel, which, for those that don't know, there's the fishbowl on there scares the hell out of me. 1 out of 8 chances that I got to do a fishbowl.
There's also a beer bong on here.
Yeah, the fishbowl though is where it's going to get you.
We have Carolina Reaper hot sauce. We have a hot sauce shot right here.
I don't handle hot stuff well. Every $100 we get, we do a fireball, and then every 1,000 we do a beer boot. For those that don't know what the beer boot is, it is 3 beers in one. So technically, if somebody were to send in a 50 right now, I would do a fireball shot, and we'd have to spin the wheel. So that would be one hell of a thing to get into. All right, let's keep on answering some super chats here, and if we don't get anything, we're going to end the live show. Appreciate everyone who tuned in for the breaking news, and I know that that's what this channel's about, is keeping you guys up to date. Let's go to Jose. Mitch, if the Raiders lose this third game with the Titans, are we moving on from this regime in D.C.? I mean, right now, no. Derek Carr is going to be your starting quarterback the entire season. Period. He's going to be your quarterback your entire season. And then Josh McDaniels, you're not going to move on from him. All the deals that I saw the Raiders do in terms of extensions this offseason were like giving McDaniels and Ziegler 3 years. No matter what, unless the Raiders don't win a game or if it's that bad, which I get it. A lot of people are hitting the panic button right now, and I'm hitting the panic button. I'm not going to hit the eject button, though. There's two very, very big differences. You can say Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels are on the hot seat. They are on the hot seat. The pressure is on. Doesn't mean that you're moving on from either of those people. So, McDaniels and Ziegler, they're not going anywhere. Derek Carr, he's not going to go anywhere this year either. Sorry. Let's go to Angel. What up, man? McDaniel really hates Jacobs. Doesn't let him do his thing. I still believe in this team, just besides baby Raiders. I don't know if McDaniels hates Jacobs, to be honest with you. One of the things that I'm a little bit curious about or confused about is if you decline your running back's fifth-year option, which they did in Jacobs, and you don't believe that he is going to be on your team any longer, he's clearly the best running back that you have. why not run him into the ground? Now, some people might not like that because you're running him into the ground, but that's what I would do. I'd also sit up here and say, well, you drafted Zamir White. Not only did you draft him, you traded up for Zamir White, and he might be the future of your running back position, which is totally fine. But why are you totally abandoning the running game when it worked? Why would you run the football in the first half 12 times for 51 yards, have a 20-0 lead, and then in the second half when you're up 20 points, your offense can't do anything via the pass, you run the ball 9 times? I do not understand the logic behind McDaniels' play calling in week 2. Let's go to George. What up, man? How do we allow 2 walk-in 2-point conversions? Your defense was gassed. That's how. When you run a defense like Patrick Graham, it's built on being what is known as a bend but don't break defense. You'll give up 4 or 5 yards every play because you think either A, the team's going to make a mistake, B, your defense can hold up and give up a field goal. That's fine. The reason why I had a lot of issues with this mentality with Patrick Graham is because you were already down 3 starters in Anthony Averett, Denzel Perriman, Trevon Merrick. Then you lost Bilal Nichols. And now you're trying to do this bend but don't break defense, and your offense can't get anything going. So your defense is out there on the field for so damn long. They were just gassed and winded. And Kyler Murray, he's one of the best scrambling quarterbacks out there. Like, if you're tired, it's hard to compete. And the Raiders were simply just tired at that point. Javier Bravo, what up, man? If the Raiders win the next 3 games, where does that put the Raiders in the playoff race, if at all? It's still very early to be talking about playoff races, but yeah, I mean, if you can win the next 3 games, you're 3-2 entering the bye week. The fact that you're beating the Broncos and you're beating the Chiefs, all great. And the fact that you're beating 3 teams in the AFC, also all great. It helps you out in the long run. And then I'm hoping that if you were to win the next 3 games, you ride off, you get ready to go into week 7 up against the Texans. That should be a win. And you got New Orleans. I don't know what New Orleans team you're going to get. If it's the New Orleans team that always plays Tampa Bay, that's a tough game. But if it's the New Orleans team that I saw week 1 against Atlanta, that's a winnable game. Jacksonville, you should be able to beat the Jags for the love of God. The Colts look like the worst team in the NFL right now, so you should be able to beat them. If you already beat the Broncos, you should be able to beat the Broncos. And then you got Seattle week 12. Like, there is an easy stretch of games in there, but when I say easy, I still mean this. Not any game is a given in the NFL. So who you got this upcoming week? I've seen Twitter. I've seen Instagram. Social media right now for Raider Nation is insane. It's very split. People are like, F the Raiders, I'm tanking. I've already seen pictures of Bryce Young in a Raiders uniform. Here's the thing. The only way you're getting Bryce Young is if you got the number 1 or number 2 overall pick. And I really think probably the number 1 pick. I get it. The Raiders have been bad. They're not number 1 overall pick bad. You know that deep down, right? And I still hope that you guys are rooting for the Raiders to win this game because it is very early. But when you have the amount of attention, when you have the amount of hype that this team had going into the season, that's why there's so much frustration. That's why everyone's freaking out. So who you got, Raiders or the Titans? Let me know what you guys are thinking right now down in the comments section. And if you want to keep the live show going, keep sending in those super chats. We will continue to answer those questions. But once the supers end, I'm sorry, I got to give the studio to some other people to make some videos. That's how it works around here at Chat Sports. Yeah, I know. I got to give the studio to a Chiefs fan.
We got to give the studio over to the Chiefs, unfortunately.
If we don't keep the show rolling. So that's just me being honest with y'all. All right, we got a lot of Raiders, though. We out here. Chris, Raider, Martin, Diego, Zelbo, Fetzy, Joanna, Martin, the Cracker Kid, YouTube, Raider Rob, Fresh and West, and then Matthew DeLong. Cheers to all you guys watching right now. We're going to keep on rolling through some super chats here. And again, this is our super chat special menu, just like every restaurant. Hey, we got specials as well. We are 35 away from another fireball shot and 300 likes away from another fireball shot. And if anybody wants a beer cheers, there you go. Let's go to Ryan Hufford. Did you hear the rumor that Josh McDaniels is making DC only have 1 read per throw, opposite as the freedom Gruden gave him? So here's the thing. I reached out to somebody close to the organization, and they told me this was a big old bunch of malarkey. It's not true. Don't believe it. I also heard the whole rumor that Carr isn't allowed to change plays at the line of scrimmage. That also isn't true. So I don't know who's revealing all this information. I really think it just comes down to people trying to either A, make the situation a lot worse, only have one read per throw. There's no way that that's true in any way. There's no way. And if it comes out to be true that we find out 2 months and my guy lied to me, which I hope he didn't lie to me, but if that comes out to be true, then you should, for one, Josh McDaniels should never be a head coach in the NFL. And two, if you're going to pay a quarterback $40 million to make only one read and not make changes at the line of scrimmage, that's not somebody you give $40 million to. In fact, it's not somebody you give $10 million to in the NFL at the quarterback position. Let's go to John. You're next up here on the Raiders Report, my guy. Need to go get some DT help and Darrell Williams. All on board the defensive tack help train. There's guys like Sheldon Richardson, Linval Joseph, and Ndamukong Suh. Danny Shelton's another name to keep in mind. Like, there are still defensive tackles out there that I think could help out this Raiders team. We'll see what happens exactly with Bilal Nichols, but you all know how I feel about Darrell Williams at this point. Let's go to consensual sense slots. A young team doesn't need a toxic personality in the media promoting drinking that we can do detriment. Let's try drinking in the off season. I hear you, which you can say what you want, but I'm going to run my show the way I want to run my show. I'm going to have a good time the way I want to handle my time. I'm a grown man, and I think the biggest part of this is grown men make grown men decisions, and when we drink, we Uber home, we take lifts, and here's the thing, you don't got to drink with me. Let's go to Anthony Morales. Who's the guy we traded? Give me a breakdown. Just win, baby. The guy we traded for is Justin Herron. That was the deal that ended up going down. Jeremy, can you show him the trade details? In terms of players that we traded away, we didn't trade away anyone. We just gave up a 2024 sixth-round pick in exchange. We got Justin Herron, who was drafted in the 6th round back in 2020. And then we also got a 7th-round pick. The corresponding move that the Raiders made was they had to move on from Javelin Guidry, who was signed last week, to the active roster. If he clears waivers, which he might end up doing, then he ends up on the Raiders practice squad. So that's the reason why we went live today. That was all of us breaking it all down for you. So that was the information. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. I got one more super chat coming in. It's from Garen Edwards. Okay. What up, Garen? Thanks for watching the show, my guy. We got 1,140 people watching. Which person would you kick out of the team, Carr or McDaniels? I mean, I'm not going to kick anyone out of the team right now. If you're asking me at the end of the season, if the Raiders miss the playoffs, the person that's got to go, to me, is Derek Carr. Like, that's how it is. It's got to be Carr, because I do think that you need to start having some coaches that are there for longer than a year. I mean, you have to have it, right? You got to start building a foundation. And the fact that you can get out of Derek Carr's contract at $110 million, save yourself that much money, that's very interesting to me. On top of that, you got to look around the NFL right now, right? You got to look at guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, heck, even a guy like Joe Burrow to me. I get Burrow, they're 0-2, but Joe Burrow and Derek Carr to me are very different quarterbacks. Until you get a quarterback like that, you have to always wonder, what if? Because Carr is a game manager. There's games where he goes out there and he slings it. There's other games that we've already seen this season, and it's been a little bit of a frustration. So for me, you have a few different options. I will talk about those options on Locals. In fact, I've already put that video out on Locals if you want to check it out. It's called Derek Carr Replacements. It's hot, it's spicy, but if you actually watch the video, there's a lot of good info in there. So who do you think right now is more at fault as it stands right now? Who do you think is more at fault right now? Josh McDaniels or Derek Carr? Type JM for McDaniels, type DC for Carr. Are there other people who are to blame for the Raiders' 0-2 start? Yes, absolutely. The whole team is responsible. This is a team sport. Every single person that puts on that Raiders jersey, every single person that shows up at Raiders practice, in the facility, top to bottom, front office, they are all at fault. But let's be real. You can have people that are more at fault. And right now, the two guys that are the most at fault for the Raiders' 0-2 start are your head coach, Josh McDaniels, and your quarterback, Derek Carr. Whether you think that's fair or not, that's up to you. But I make the argument when you're paid the amount of money that quarterbacks are paid, you're supposed to handle that weight on your shoulders. And when you're the guy running the team, that weight is supposed to go on your shoulders. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Who is more at fault, Josh McDaniels, or do you think it's Derek Carr? Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments, because right now, A lot of JMs. Let's go to Raider Gaines. Calling someone you don't know toxic is actually toxic. Keep on doing you, bro. Hater's going to hate. I don't think he's a hater. I think he's just frustrated right now, which is fine. I'm frustrated. I mean, I've been talking to people in DMs. I've been talking to people on social media, and I think it just really comes down to people are frustrated. People are frustrated because they care. One thing I don't want, and the thing that I hate right now that's on social media, which always drives me nuts, is the divide that's between the Raiders fans. The fan that's between the nation right now. That's very, very frustrating me because we shouldn't be going against each other. We should be rallying, but it is what it is. FV702, cheers to you, my dude. Consensual again. Let's go to Vegas. I'm always down to go to Vegas. I wanted to go to Vegas this upcoming season. Well, we got a lot of other stuff going on here at Chat Sports, and, Consensual, if you're watch the Raiders show, I always say, first round's on me, which maybe that's not something that you want. Let's go to Jose Delgado. Your show, it's the greatest, Mitch. Haters always going to hate. Cheers. Check your IG, please. All right, Jose, I will check my IG just for you. And John said that I'm looking good today. He's the guy that sent me the shirt. For those that don't know, the shirt was made by Mercedes Renz, a.k.a. John Butson. He's been one of the OGs. In fact, he's the very first Raiders fan that I ever met in person. He came to the Chat Sports Studios. I'm going to say all the way back, John, if you're watching, 2018, 2019, had to be 2018 or 2019 before the Raiders-Broncos Monday Night Football game. Hanging out with him, though, anytime he's in Dallas, we always go out, we get some food, we kick it, and
Mitch,
he's a good guy. What's up, man?
While you check your IG, I just really want to spin this.
You want to spin the wheel? All right, Jeremy, I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal.
I already made the deal.
Oh, you already made the deal?
I cut it in half.
All right, well, how about this then? We will do, since we just got a $10, you can spin the wheel for the $10. Because I don't have any beer on me right now. We're getting really close to $100 in Super Chat. So that's my deal. You can spin the wheel. We'll see what it lands on. If I got to do a fishbowl, I'm going to be really, really upset. But you know what? It's part of Vegas.
Oh.
Hot sauce. Yikes. That's probably the one I wanted least on top of that. For those that don't know, I don't do hot sauce well. I am as basic. I'm as basic as it comes. It's what? Ghost pepper hot sauce? F me. What up, FV702? Appreciate the super chat, my dude. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Remember, y'all, every $100 we got to do a shot of Fireball. Jose, I'm on Instagram right now, so what do we got here? Somebody said, check your messages, please. I'm looking. Did you send me anything? Okay. You want my address, Jose? I can probably send you the Chat Sports address. We'll just do it after the show. I'll get you after the show. Let me bookmark you. I'll put you on my primary DMs on Instagram. That way it's easier for y'all to end up showing up. Cool? Cool. All right, we got 1,108 people watching. If you have any questions whatsoever, yikes, any questions whatsoever about the Raiders, this is ghost pepper sauce. This does not look fun, but you know what? We're having a good time here on the Raiders Report. We got some breaking news that the Raiders traded for offensive tackle Justin Herron from the New England Patriots. Probably going to compete at the right tackle spot. Oh, boy. I'll go up to the line.
Mitch is used to this motion.
See, I've actually been told if you sit on your hand and then shake the pepper bottle, it feels like somebody else is pouring the sauce into your shot glass.
Oh,
it's my new favorite joke. I will forever use that joke. All right, man. Here we go. FZ, cheers to you. This is on. I'm just going to pour up a shot right now. We did get to 100 and super chats. So shout out to the nation for tuning in. Shout out to Jose Delgado. You a real one. I'm just going to use this as a chaser. What's the best way to cool off a ghost pepper shot? Fireball. I don't know if that's how the math works or checks out.
Renee said don't do it.
I mean, it's going to suck. There's no, like I said, that wheel is dangerous because I don't mind doing a shot. I don't mind doing a sip. I don't mind doing, 15 push-ups. Beer bong is never great. The fishbowl sucks, but this is the one that the fishbowl and this hot sauce was the one I was by far the most worried about. And, of course, that's what happened. So
while you take the shot, I'll read the super chat. Why Carr, so McDaniels hasn't shown anything great. How is it? Oh.
It's hot. It's definitely hot. Oh, man.
It is hot sauce.
I'm going to start sweating. Ghost pepper hot sauce. We got it for this occasion. It's hot. I'm also not good with hot stuff. Oh, man.
Seep said he thought it tasted pretty good, though. Like, the flavor was good.
Well, Seeps is used to swallowing spicy stuff. Oh, my God. I can't.
Adonai,
I'm going to start sweating.
I think you're trying to defend Carr here and say McDaniels hasn't shown anything great.
I mean, you have to put blame on Carr, right? Like, you have to. Sorry, hang on. I'm Bowser right now, blowing flames out of my mouth. Carr deserves blame. If you give a quarterback at the time a top 5 quarterback contract extension, he's the quarterback of the team. He's the face of the franchise. He deserves blame. He threw 3 interceptions. I'm sweating.
He said water will make it worse. You need milk.
Yeah, well, we don't have milk. We got liquor. That's about all we got in this office. But Carr threw 3 interceptions in week 1. Was not good. In the second half of that game, Carr also wasn't very great. He was like 7 of 16? Couldn't pick up first downs when it mattered the most, and your offense was struggling. Dude, I'm struggling right now. But McDaniels, I'll say I think McDaniels deserves more blame. However, Carr is the one out there with the football in his hands, right? He is. Both these guys deserve the most blame. What up, Consensual? I'm from L.A. Ain't no hater, believe it, baby. I know you're not a hater. I know you watch the show a lot, and that's why I didn't get mad at your response. But you have to understand, like, I don't know. I want to be able to run my show the way I want to run my show. I respect your opinion. We didn't drink for an entire month last season during the whole Henry Ruggs situation. But I get that Raider fans are frustrated right now. I get that. They absolutely should be frustrated. Hell, I'm frustrated. But I think the bigger message was, don't come after me. I don't know if you were trying to do that, and you know we gotta unite right now. What up, Jose?
There we go. I'll take a shot.
I'm gonna need more water and maybe a napkin. Oh man, probably gonna need a napkin. The chip was worse. The
chip is extremely hot.
The chip was the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. The Doritos we were eating the other day, they were hot, but that's hotter.
Yeah.
That's definitely hotter. Ghost pepper might surprise you. It's pretty hot, man. 1,000 people tuning in right now. Let's go to Raider Gaines. Have you seen quarterback Cunningham from Louisville? Thoughts? Looks like a great late round pick.
That's what he is, a late round pick. He's
okay. I was gonna say, like, have I seen him? Yes, I absolutely have. To be honest with you, though, and again, I kind of talked about this on Local, so I want you guys to go check out my Locals video because I did talk about the ideas of moving on from Derek Carr and the top 2 quarterbacks, which are, in my opinion, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, which that's not really going to be much of a surprise. Personally, I think that those 2 quarterbacks are going to go 1 and 2, and the last time that we've seen so much hype around the top 2 picks, I'll probably go back to Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota for the top 2 quarterbacks, though make a lot of arguments that didn't work out either. There are other quarterbacks, though. I mean, Will Levis, he's an interesting quarterback to me, but if I'm going to draft Will Levis, I want him to learn behind Derek Carr because I'm not going to throw him to the Wolves right away. He ain't ready. He ain't even close to being ready, right? The kid from Leary from NC State. God, that sucked, that burp. I got heartburn right now. Leary, the kid from NC State, and then, man, I wrote down another name that I had in mind.
Van Dyke?
Van Dyke, kid from Miami. Yep. But all 3 of those quarterbacks to me are people that I would want to learn behind Derek Carr. So we'll see. I mean, you could find a late round pick and maybe they decide to find a guy because that's kind of what they like to do. But, yeah, that's how it goes. Really? You want to do it? All right. Jeremy wants to play shot clock, which dangerous game right now. Every $20 super chat that comes in for the next 60 seconds equals a shot of Fireball.
And if we get up to 100 super chats in total during the 60 seconds, I'll take a hot sauce shot.
Good. I don't know if I could do that again. 60 seconds on the clock. That's the game that we're playing. Say, if you send me full screen, they're going to see how bad I'm sweating, so let's try not to do that.
Ooh.
I'm dripping. Dude, my stomach right now
All right.
It's starting to turn a little bit.
Starting the clock
I don't know if I could do that again.
now.
I feel... Oh! John Butson. So, again, the guy who made this shirt is John Butson. So, shout out to John. Thanks for watching the show. Mercedes John, a.k.a. Al Davis at games. If you've ever seen anyone repping the coolest freaking Al Davis outfit that you have ever seen at a Raiders game, it's John. John, I don't know if I was supposed to reveal that information. I don't know if you're like Batman, you don't want to reveal your identity, but there you go. There you go. Bang! Jose Delgado!
Let's go.
What up, Jose?
Halfway
Cheers.
through.
My birthday was yesterday. Hell yeah, Jose. Bang! Mason Tura! And now they're flowing in. The nation's got my back. I know they do. They're like, Mitch, we need you to wash down that ghost pepper. You're damn right.
We're $40 away from me doing a ghost pepper shot.
Good. Can we make that happen? I want to see if you handle it better. See, yesterday, the guys or whatever for the Monday Night Crew.
Oh!
Bang! Jeremy, you owe me a shot of ghost pepper, my friend. You owe me a shot of ghost pepper, my good friend. Oh, man, hang on a second.
Woo.
We owe one more. We owe one more. We're going to roll through those super chats. Everyone spam HBD for Jose Delgado. Tryvan, always one of the MVPs around here. Always one of the MVPs. Another what? John, shit. Oh, God. Well, this is taking a turn. Also, Jeremy, we got to spin that wheel. Tryvan sent enough for a spin. Oh, all right. Dude, I'm telling you what, that ghost pepper, can you guys see? I've kind of wiped all the sweat off at this point. Now, it's my stomach. Like, my stomach now is, I feel like Coop after Panda Express. That's how my stomach feels right now. Coopy Panda Express. Yeah. Not great. It's not great. Jose, cheers, man, to you. Happy birthday.
I'll spin the wheel first.
Dude, I need a garbage can. I'm not even kidding you.
Wait, really?
Yep. That hot sauce is really effing up my stomach. I need the garbage.
Beer bong.
That's for you. I feel like I'm going to get sick. I'm
It's
not
that
even kidding
bad.
you. My stomach is really effed up right now. Dude, that hot sauce is screwing with my stomach. Dude, I don't want to yak, but I don't feel good right now. I'm starting to sweat. You want to come on here for a little bit? I'm going to go get some milk. I need something.
I'll read some soups.
Cool. Harrison, come up here, eat some soups.
Oh my God. Mitch in shambles. I just saw his Manscaped boxers. He's sweating through them.
Might need a little crappie crop here.
Oh.
Me and Mitch. Just show the people.
Oh my
A
God.
little taller than Mitch. But,
everybody spam
Mini
HBD.
Mitch. Mini Mitch in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Jose, happy birthday. Cheers. What are we doing? We doing anything for 20? We already do this?
I gotta do a beer bong here in a second.
Okay.
Let me
It crop me a bit. Probably just raise it. Zoom should be okay. That probably works. All right. Jaron or Aaron, or Garen, excuse me. If the Raiders do not make the playoffs and we get rid of Carr, what will happen to Adams? I mean, they're not getting rid of Carr. They just signed him to an extension. But obviously, if this season goes poorly, I guess they could trade him, Jeremy. But I don't think they just brought Adams in here. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think Carr's going anywhere. They're going to give this pairing at least through next season, I would think. I mean, they just went all in. You're going to bail after a couple games? Way too early to say that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But the one thing that we do have to remember is that Carr and Adams are best friends, and that's part of the reason why that Adams wanted to come play with Carr. So everybody wanting to get rid of Carr. If he's gone, I don't know what the future holds for Adams.
Should we play the Mitch bathroom game? Every $10 super chat while he's gone is a shot. I'll offer to drink some of them.
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal. We may not see Mitch for a little while. Every $10 super chat that comes in,
He may be out for the count. I don't know.
we'll take a shot. We'll take a shot for every $10 super chat that comes in.
We've learned that Mitch and plus hot sauce is usually
Bad combination.
not equal, right?
No wonder he likes Velvet Taco.
Yeah,
Very mild.
very mild. Mason, we took a shot for this. We did a shot. All these 20s, we did a shot clock
Did we
right before.
Did we already drink for these?
Yeah, me and Mitch were drinking for these.
All right, all $10 super chats while Mitch is
That
gone.
also might be why his stomach is hurting, because mixing Fireball with really hot sauce.
That's a tough combination. Tough
Yeah.
combination. Treven Raiders.
Have
we already done this one?
No, well, that's
Is that
why,
the wheel?
That's why we spin the wheel, and that's why I'm doing a beer bong here in
Oh.
just a sec.
Okay. All right. Consensual cinch slots. A coffee cup with the. Oh, is this one of the?
This
with
is
the
an
word
emoji.
star? Okay. Thank you, Sense. Then a 20 from John Butson. Appreciate that.
AKA Al Davis.
Al Davis. Absolutely. Adonai, shout out to Chubby. It's
Guessing that's me.
it's Chuggy with G's or Chugs. Hey, Jeremy Chugs going on runs every morning
It's
so he can drink on the show. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only reason.
here. Let me.
It's the only reason. All right, you gonna do this ghost pepper?
Oh yeah.
So what is this?
This is.
Is that what Mitch had?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Melinda's ghost pepper sauce.
Are you gonna be out for the count?
5 alarm?
Are you gonna be out for the count, or have you tried this?
I have not tried it at
Oh
all.
my goodness.
Let me just.
Jeremy might be hitting the bench soon as well. Still haven't gotten a $10 super chat. Every 10 while Mitch is gone is a shot.
It's definitely a little spicy.
Is that it, or do you take a shot of it?
Oh no, I have a shot of it right here.
All right.
I just had to test it.
Are you doing? Should you do the bong first, just in case the hot sauce takes you out?
I think the beer will
Kind of wash it down.
wash it
All right.
down.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna do this.
Go get a beer bong.
Yeah, I'll leave you with a weigh-in,
Yeah, let's do that.
and then I'll come back with the beer bong.
All right, Welky, and then Dan King. We'll get to those super chats here in just a moment.
All right,
But in the meantime, grade the trade for
L'chaim.
Justin Herron.
1 second.
Type Chugs in the chat as well. There goes the ghost pepper shot. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, it's thick.
You gonna be able to do that? Get some milk while you're in there, Jeremy. There he goes. He's chugging water,
Oh,
which
yeah.
usually doesn't help. You need milk. Oh my goodness. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the trade. The Real says Chugs. Raider 508 says ha ha ha. We got Raider 508 saying Chugs as well. Haout says don't do it. Too late. He already did it. Already did it. Don't fart, Clifton says. That could be spicy. Bro, bad mixes. Yeah, it's not good. That's why Mitch still hasn't returned. $10 super chat. We'll take a shot for every $10 we get while he's gone. Matthew says C. Jose C. D from B. Rabe. We got Thomas saying D. Matthew saying C. Who cares from Chris. Another super chat from Raiders fans. We'll get those on the screen when Jeremy gets back. Let's see here. Classic from Duval. Matthew C. Philip C. Steven says D for don't know. Is this guy good? I think he's a depth piece. McDaniels knows him from New England, obviously. Raider says C. Honestly, a B. Hope so. Raiders could use some help up front. Oh, my goodness. Should you go? Do you want to go full screen here? Should we catch up on the super chats first? We got a few to hit. Is this guy good? Again, not depth piece, guys. Depth piece, guys. All right, here we go. Welky, Harrison, all effing day. Great. Hey, when it comes to the Raiders, it's Mitch all day. I appreciate the comment. If you like the Bears or Chiefs, come follow my stuff at HGramNFL on Twitter. All right, Dan King, Mitch, where do you go to get the Raiders heartbeat shirt? Do you know the answer to that, Jeremy? Made by this guy, John Butson. So where does he go to get it? Is there?
It was.
Oh, when Mitch gets back, we'll let you know. Thank you, John, for the 20. Wait, so is that 2 shots then? If that one came in. Oh, that was old. Oh, okay, never mind. Raider fan was expecting more from Jones. Raiders. Who's Jones? Who are they talking about? Do you know who they're talking about? Well, there's one shot. We just got a $10 super chat. Mitch is still gone, so this could be bad. This could definitely be bad. He is down for the count, but Clash is helping us out. We'll take a shot for that one. You ready?
Got the Murbanga.
Got the Murbanga here. Ready to go. As Jeremy Chugs is going to do what he does best. Do what he does best. Clash, I'll just read this, and then we'll get those on. He says, this one's for you, backup guy. Hey, appreciate that. I'll be the backup Raiders guy any day. Jeremy, you ready? All right, here you go. How's that pepper feeling? Not great?
It's spicy.
Okay.
It is spicy. I do have to say, I handle my spice better than Mitch.
And it's still tough.
The hardest was the initial drink of it because it's thick.
Yeah.
It's like a thicker hot sauce.
Ugh.
So like going down.
I can handle heat, but thickness, I don't know.
It was hard going down because you're having to like force yourself to swallow very hot stuff. But now that it's over,
the jokes that could be made out of that quote.
There you have it.
Raider Nation.
I think the beer will help though.
All right, let's go. Type Chugs in the comments. Type Chugs. Here he goes. Oh, like a champ. Easy money. Did it help or hurt or neither?
It helped.
Feeling good?
Mitch, drink a beer.
Chug a beer, Mitch.
Not kidding, it helped.
I gotta take a shot, or someone does. Do we have an extra shot glass? I guess I could drink it out of this. You have an extra one? All right, here we go. Let's get that $10 piece on screen. Hanging out here on the Raiders Report while Mitch is, who knows where he's at this point. I haven't seen him. I have not seen him. It's not good. Cheers.
If you could hold up the Murbanga for the people to prove that I'm not drinking out of a bedpan.
A bed? Oh, it's
It's
a
a
mermaid
Murbanga.
beer bong. You pour the beer in here, then you
People
drink it
were
out of
like,
this.
what the hell are you drinking out
It's a
of?
Murbanga, a mermaid bong. Welke, Chad Powers for the Raiders. That's the Eli Manning cover-up name. I don't think Eli's got much left. Chad Powers, though, you never know. That was a funny bit, by the way.
Oh, that was
If y'all
pretty
haven't
good.
seen it, go watch Eli Manning, Chad Powers. Clash with Zeus. This was the shot we just took. This one's for you, backup guy. Hey, I'm now known as backup guy on the Raiders Report. Mitch is back. Mitch is back. Hey, he did a beer bong and it helped. He said.
Dude, drink some beer.
You want to drink a beer? You need another beer? I might have to.
Dude, it helps.
Warm or
What I mean, cold might help Mitch better right now.
cold?
It
How
definitely.
about a Truly? Want a Truly?
Yeah, let's do that. All right, y'all. Sorry, I'm back. I'm not proud of what just took place there, but I had a demon in my stomach that needed to come out.
Who would have thought mixing Fireball with really hot sauce would have that effect? You know?
Bro, it was. I ate the chip. Like the chip, I don't know. Like the chip was obviously spicy. Like the spicy, it effed up my mouth. But that sauce with my stomach, like as soon as it went into my stomach, I could feel my stomach turning. So, sorry that I was taking forever. Jeremy, if we could get the camera situation figured out again. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
y'all.
Had to move it up for
Yeah, I know.
Harry.
That was rough, man. I'm sorry that had to happen. Somebody's like, this guy sucks. Woo, man. What up, Pedro? Thanks for tuning in, Pedro. Cheers to everyone that went through that. Also, major shout out to Harrison Graham. Major shout out to Jeremy Chugs for holding down the fort while I was getting rid of the ghost pepper chili. I'll tell you what, right now, I ain't doing that again. So that's never going to happen again. You'd have to break Raider Ron's Venmo record for me to do it again. So
And the thing is, we had Chase Sr. and Patrick Seatman take some of this for.
What was it, Monday Night Football?
Yeah, for Monday Night Football, and they actually were saying it wasn't bad. Like they were like, oh, it's not too bad.
It ruined my stomach. It's gone.
Now they also had it on food.
Oh.
So.
That might do it. I'll also say I haven't eaten anything today. Maybe that had something to do with it. But
yeah.
Either way, we are back. Lorenzo said, I thought an ambulance took Mitch away. Nope. I was like, we got to finish the live show. So we came live today for the breaking news that the Raiders traded for offensive tackle Justin Herron. Also, the Raiders moved on from Javelin Guidry, excuse me. Oof. If he clears waivers, he then is on the practice squad, so that's something to keep in mind. But here are the trade details that ended up going down. We already released the video out on YouTube, so you guys can get a little bit more of a breakdown. Now we're just sitting up here on live, chatting with the nation, breaking them all down for y'all. If you got a super chat, please.
Gotta get this hot sauce away from me. I can smell it.
Oh, dude, that hot sauce is gonna haunt me. I got to go to this pizza place tonight, the Luca spot, for a friend's birthday, and they're going to walk around with some hot sauce and be like, get that away from me. Hell, Whataburger spicy ketchup might be a bad choice. No, I'm kidding. All right, what are the super chats that came in maybe while I was gone? Because I know Trivan, John Butson, Mitch, at least it wasn't the pizza I ate. What pizza did you eat?
I don't know.
I was going to say, did you guys eat pizza?
No.
Mitch, at least it wasn't the pizza I ate. What, did you eat like a spicy pizza? Digital? I don't know. Oh, I get it. So when we all hung out in California, back with Graphics event, we ordered pizza, and now I recognize that this is you, Prez. He got sick. He got really, really sick and was thrown up in the toilet. From pizza. Yep.
Wow.
From pizza. I mean, sometimes if you got a weak stomach, it can depend. I mean, we also drank all day. We literally drank all day from sun up to sundown. That's how it went. So it is what it is. But Digital Prez, shout out to you. Consensual Clash, Welky, Raider Fan 67, Dan King. Mitch, where'd you get the Raiders Heartbeat shirt? I got that Raiders Heartbeat shirt a long, long time ago. I got it in Oakland, so I was literally on the side of a street. I saw it, picked it up. That's where I ended up getting that one. But appreciate everyone that tuned into the Raiders Report today. I think since we're not going to get any, or if we get more super chats, we'll stay live. If not, Jeremy and I, we got to turn the studio over again. Major shout out to Chugs. Major shout out to Harrison Graham for popping on the show and hanging out with y'all, answering some questions, which I know I always appreciate. I'm right now looking. I just got the Raiders game coverage, and it looks like the Raiders game is going to be showed a lot in California, Nevada, also very heavily in Tennessee. But I would say pretty decent game coverage around the U.S. for Raiders and Titans. The next time that you'll see Jeremy Chugs and I will be for Thursday Night Football, Browns and Steelers. Until then, make sure you guys hit me up. Make sure you guys hit me up on social media at Mitchell Renz 365 on Instagram and on Twitter to stay up to date with everything going on around the silver and black. And since we do 50-50 raffles, we try to do other giveaways via Venmo. You can add me as a friend there. It's a free app to distribute money. What up, JT? Olivia Rhodes said, who the heck is Herron? He is an offensive tackle, 6th-round pick back in 2020. And now the newest member of the Raiders. So the Week 3 matchup that we're going to be live for, Steelers-Browns. That'll be the next time that you guys see us. Appreciate every single person that tuned in today. I don't think that we're going to send this video to Loop, correct? We're not going to send this video to Loop, so we're just going to say sayonara. Oda said Mitch got that butt burn look. Nope, it didn't come out of there. Came out of here. That's where it came out of, so... I mean, I had to, though. So I had to get a lot of water in my system and had to flush it out. But we're doing good. We're doing good. Oh, yeah, had to. Wasn't pretty. I try not to throw up, but sometimes you got to do. Somebody said it's worse. I don't know if that's worse, to be honest. I don't know. I am glad that it didn't come out that way because that would have been really, really bad. That sounded like Dan Orlovsky right there. If you don't know, then you don't know. All right, y'all. Cheers to everyone out there. I'm getting ready to head on out of here again. The Las Vegas Raiders, they made the trade for Justin Herron and then released Javelin Guidry. Who you got? Raiders, Titans. That's the big-time matchup in Week 3. Can't wait to see this one go down. It's a must-win for both teams. Both teams are 0-2. The game is going to be in Nashville. And the Silver and Black, man, they got to get it going. They got to get it going. Oh, another super chat coming in from Cameron Sproul. Another super chat coming in from Cameron Sproul. What up, Cam? I see you. Worst game result, immaculate deception, tuck rule, or the great Cardinal choke? I mean, I'm going to say tuck rule for the simple fact of that team. I mean, you could hear Charles Woodson when he talked about it. They thought that they were going to win the Super Bowl that year. Like, they thought that was a Super Bowl caliber team. So I personally will say the tuck rule, because then the tuck rule turned Tom Brady personally into who Tom Brady is. Like, if that game doesn't happen, if the Patriots lose that game, New England probably sticks with Drew Bledsoe. Brady, I don't know if it lives on the legacy that he has, and the AFC is a lot more simpler if you don't have Tom Brady in it. I think we can all agree on that. So for that, that's where I'll go. I believe that's where I'm going to end up going with that one. So, Cameron, cheers to you, my guy. Appreciate you watching the show. I don't know what the one guy in there is freaking out about, but, hey, it is what it is. Oh, Clash with Zeus. Oh, man. Jeremy, that put us over the 300 mark there. Pour it up. Pour it up, pour it up. Clash with Zeus. Random question. But what's your favorite homemade Mexican food? Oh, man. I feel like saying tacos is kind of a boring answer, though my girlfriend's mom, she does make really, really bomb tacos. I'm trying to think of what it's called real quick. If I think of the name...
Carnitas, birria.
No, it's so it's a dish that it's actually made from like chocolate. It's like a chocolate sauce. Mole. Yep. Like anything with mole on it. I had mole the other day for like last year for the very first time, and I've been hooked because
when me and Danny went to Mexico, I had some bomb mole.
Like I love anything that's spicy and sweet, and the mole she makes is just like a perfect combination of that. So I would probably say mole. I had this other thing yesterday. I'd have to ask Alex what the heck it was, but I know it takes forever to make. Enchiladas are always good to me.
Birria tacos.
Oh, is that where like the tortilla's fried?
Well, the one where you like dip it in the consomme?
See, I don't know.
No?
I don't know. Dude, I'm all down for Mexican food though. I'm always down to eat just about anything. Yeah, mole enchiladas. That's what it is. Mole enchiladas. That's probably one of my favorite things. Mole tacos sounds bomb. Yeah, y'all are making me hungry as hell right now. I'm not going to lie. Clash with Zeus, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, everyone who tuned in today again for the breaking news of the Raiders trading for Justin Herron. Also, the Raiders moved on from Javelin Guidry. If he clears waivers, then he ends back up on the Raiders roster. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Shout out to John Butson for the super chats and the awesome shirt. Major shout out to Trivian, Trivan, Clash with Zeus. I got to do it at this point. Mason Tira, Jose Delgado. Y'all are the MVPs of today's live show. And sorry that I had to briefly leave, which not even briefly. It was for a few minutes. I had to get rid of the ghost pepper chili in my system. But, hey, that just kind of goes to show that sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right, Nation. Cheers to y'all. Jeremy and I are going to be back tomorrow for Thursday Night Football. And then we will be back on Sunday for that kickoff show up against the Titans.
Shout out to Danny.
Shout out to Danny. I know it's been a rough first 2 weeks, but I'm hoping that we can turn it around. I think all you can do at this point is just believe.